Good morning. It's my distinct pleasure to bring greetings to all of you today and to tell you how important I believe it is for women of color to come together for this virtual summit. This year's theme of Courageous Conversations is right on time. It is imperative that we come together to take a hard look at where we currently stand and to develop and implement strategies that will take us where we need to go in the future. I want to thank Sarah Taylor and Ellaversity for putting this event together. It is my hope that during these sessions, each of you will discover valuable information and ideas that will support our shared mission of informing, supporting, uplifting, and advocating for all women of color. When I was in high school, I was required to read Charles Dickens' novel, A Tale of Two Cities. I can't say I was happy about the assignment, and in all honesty, I don't really remember much from the book itself or if I actually finished reading it. But the opening lines of that book have always stuck with me. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. It was the age of wisdom. It was the age of foolishness. It was the epic of belief. If we didn't know, this was written well over 150 years ago. It wouldn't be a stretch to believe that it was written just yesterday. If there was ever a quote that could accurately describe the year 2020, this is it. Because right now, we are living in the best of times and the worst of times. We are caught in the middle of a global pandemic that has claimed hundreds of thousands of lives in less than 6 months and has shut down our cities, our country, our world, literally changing the way we live and function as society. We also find ourselves swept in a massive wave of protests that are occurring in cities throughout the United States and all over the world, led by the Black Lives Matter movement, demanding an end to another type of pandemic, the police brutality and systematic racism that have oppressed Black and brown people in this nation for hundreds of years. But even as we deal with these two horrific situations, there is still good to be celebrated. Right now, there are more women of color in positions of leadership and power than ever before. There are more women of color seated at decision-making tables in government, medicine, law, finance, education, corporate America, nonprofit organizations, and entrepreneurial ventures than any other time in our history. And we know what happens when women are at the table. We get things done, period. We bring a different perspective, a unique experience, a new energy, and a different leadership style right along with us. And when the women are at the table, and if they're a woman of color, that only adds a little bit more flavor to this recipe for success. We are also living in an age of wisdom, where science and technology are advancing every second of the day. And yet, unfortunately, we still have to deal with far too much foolishness. Whether it's the form of racism, classism, gender bias, or vitriol spewing from the mouths and minds of those in positions of power and leadership. I have faith that despite our many problems, this time we live in this epic of belief. Belief that we can make life better for those who are oppressed. Belief that we can educate people to understand that some things like wearing a mask and practicing social distancing must be adhered to for the greater good of all people. Belief that we can eliminate the systematic racism that has kept Black, brown, and other people of color from realizing their full potential and from enjoying their fundamental right to a life, liberty, and the pursuit of happiness. And the belief that someday, in the near future, we can appreciate, celebrate, and embrace diversity, equality, and inclusion. As we participate in various sessions during this 4-day conference, I hope you will take this year's theme to heart and have some of the courageous conversations that we need to have, because it's time for us to come together, plan together, so we can move to the next level. Before I close, I want to take a moment to congratulate this year's award winners for their accomplishments and extraordinary service. Melba Vischer and Brenda McDuffie from the City of Buffalo, along with 2 Rochesterians, most outstanding citizens, Essie Calhoun McDavid and Valerie Snipe. Thank you for all you have done to uplift others in our respective communities and for allowing me to speak with you all today. Have a wonderful conference and may God bless you all.